soft wind blows. They said dreams were only for those who could afford them. But what if I told you that sometimes the most powerful dreams come from the emptiest pockets? This is the story of a boy who had nothing. No money, no shoes that fit, no name anyone remembered. And yet he carried within him something the world couldn't take away. The power to think beyond what he saw. His journey began not in comfort but in silence. Silence filled with hunger, hope, and a question that would one day change his life forever. Welcome back to my channel. Gentle piano begins. He was called Aarav, just another face in the crowd, living in a small village where dust covered everything, including people's ambitions. Every morning, he'd walk barefoot to the school 2 miles away, carrying a single notebook filled with more dreams than notes. His classmates laughed when his stomach growled louder than the school bell. They called him Empty Pockets, but Aarav didn't mind. He had a habit, a strange one. Every time he saw something beautiful, a passing car, a clean shirt, a big house, he would whisper to himself. One day, those 2 words became his prayer, his promise, his silent rebellion against the world that told him to stay small. His mother worked long hours washing clothes for others, her hands raw, her eyes tired. But every night she'd look at him and say, "Aarav, never stop dreaming. Poor people can be rich in their thoughts." He didn't fully understand what she meant, but he felt it. That her belief was a gift more valuable than gold. Soft crackle of fire. One evening, as he sat under a flickering streetlight doing homework, an older man passed by, a stranger with kind eyes and worn shoes. "Why study under the streetlight, son?" he asked. Aarav smiled shyly. "Because I don't have light at home." The man nodded slowly, and for a brief moment their silence carried more weight than words. "Remember," the man said softly, "you can lose everything, but never lose your ability to think big. That's your true light." Those words struck something deep inside Aarav, a seed planted in the dark, waiting for a chance to grow. Years passed, soft footsteps on dirt road. Aarav finished school as one of the top students, but college was a luxury beyond reach. His mother fell ill. Medicine cost more than dreams. He started selling tea at a bus stop, his books stacked beside his stall. People ordered tea, but few noticed the boy behind the counter reading between customers, learning from old newspapers, watching people, listening to conversations. Every cup he served came with silent determination that this was not his final chapter. Faint chatter of travelers. One evening, a man in a suit stopped for tea. He looked at Aarav's books and asked, "You study here?" Aarav smiled. "I study everywhere." The man chuckled, but something in Aarav's voice stayed with him. The next day he returned, and the next. He began talking to Aarav, about business, about life, about possibilities. "You think too big for a tea seller," he once said. Aarav replied quietly, "Maybe that's why I sell tea, so I can buy my future." Months later, that man offered Aarav a job at his small office in the city. Not much pay, but a doorway out of poverty. Aarav hesitated. Leaving his mother and village behind felt like leaving a piece of his soul. But she took his hands and whispered, "Go, a dream that doesn't scare you isn't big enough." Train whistle fades in. The city was a storm, fast, loud, endless. Aarav worked harder than anyone, learning from every mistake, staying late, reading at night. He saved every rupee, sending most back home. But still, deep inside, he carried that same whisper. One day, that whisper turned into late-night ideas, scribbles on paper napkins, plans he hid under his pillow. One night, after everyone had left, he sat staring at the flickering office lights and realized something. All his life, he had been working in someone else's dream. What if it was time to build his own? Soft thunder rumbles. He started small, selling recycled notebooks made from discarded paper. He convinced friends to join, even when they doubted him. "Who'll buy from us?" they asked. Aarav only smiled. Someone who believes big. At first, no one did. Orders were slow, money was tight. There were days he went hungry again, just like before. But this time, hunger didn't scare him. It reminded him of where he came from. Then one morning, an email arrived. A big company wanted to partner with his small venture for their eco-friendly initiative. Aarav stood frozen, eyes wide, heart pounding. Soft piano swells. He called his mother that night. "Ma, they want to work with me." On the other end, silence, then tears. "I told you, Beta," she whispered. "Poor people can be rich in their thoughts." The partnership grew. His notebook spread across cities, schools, even the same village where his story began. He went back home years later, standing by the same streetlight where he once studied. The light still flickered, but now it felt different, like an old friend smiling at him. Children ran up to him calling, "Paya, you're the man who makes the smart notebooks." He laughed softly, kneeling down. "No, I'm just someone who believed when it didn't make sense." Wind fades softly. That night he sat beside his mother's resting place, eyes lifted to the stars. "Ma, you were right. Thinking big isn't about wanting more. It's about believing that who you are is already enough." The wind carried her memory through the leaves, as if the universe itself whispered back, "You did it." Aarav. He built schools and villages, helped children with dreams like his. But even then, when people asked him how he did it, he would smile and say, "I just thought bigger than my circumstances." Because the truth is, the world doesn't give you permission to dream. You take it. You build it from the echoes of every no, every closed door, every night you felt invisible. Thinking big isn't arrogance. It's courage. Courage to see the invisible and trust it's already becoming real. Soft rain begins. Sometimes the poorest boy in the room carries the richest imagination. Sometimes the smallest thought changes everything. And sometimes, thinking big isn't about becoming great. It's about becoming whole. Music fades to quiet stillness. If you've ever been told your dream is too big, too far, or too impossible, remember, Aarav. Remember that the size of your dream is never the problem. It's the size of your belief. Piano softens, final note lingers. If this story touched your heart, comment below with one word that defines what this story meant to you. Maybe belief, maybe hope, or maybe simply big.